pushing through the pain, pushing through, breaking through, whatever it takes, what I gotta do. Giving my all, giving all that I got. Never will stop till I get to the top. To the top, ain't never gonna stop. To the top, ain't never gonna stop. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day I fight to be. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day I fight to be legendary.
The zombie apocalypse is a dangerous place for the world. But with that and some luck, these two have become an expert at zombie fighting. Jack Sullivan, one of the last kids on Earth. And Ellie, the last of us in this undead horde. I'm Jade Amasonic, and since this is their first time here in Ultra Fighting Missions, I'm Jade Amasonic, and I do have to lay down some rules. Now, for Jack Sullivan, yeah, well, he won't be using any of his friends like June, Dirk, or Quince, or Rover. We will be discluding them from this fight. Same thing with Ellie for Joel. So we won't be including their teammates. It's just going to be a one-on-one solo battle. So I'm Jade Amasonic, and it's my job to analyze their stats, weapons, and abilities to find out who will determine their legendary mission. Life wasn't easy for young Jack Sullivan. When he was just a little baby, his real family abandoned him, leaving him as an orphan, which is a fancy word for saying a kid who has no parents. And after so many foster families, he's been around everywhere with many different families. All he ever wanted was a real family, but never had that. But after the end of the world, 42 days after the end of the world, 16 days after, the whole world was ravaging with undead zombies, strong monsters, and weird octolings. Jack was not alone. He did actually run off without his best friend Quint. But let's not talk about that because it's gonna leave him like a terrible person. But anyways, Jack has survived the zombie horde before when it even began. And this new foster family took off without him, which leaves Jack alone in his own treehouse, surviving 42 days with food and water and snacks. Well, leaving him to be. And after that, in 42 days, he became an expert zombie hunter, monster slayer, and a kid with enough time to play all the video games he wants with no school. Lucky little kid. And after that, he's reunited with his best friend Quinn, made best friends with Dirk Savage, his school bully, and almost connectedly built a relationship with June Del Toro. And after that, they forged an awesome team. But like I said, we won't be including Jack's friend since he'll be flying solo. Speaking of solo, he has his weapon, the Louisville Slicer, which freaking is a wooden sword that is strong enough to pierce through armor skin. He's so durable, he survived falling through 9 feet. And also, his sword has dark magic powers to have mind control. But sadly, he loses it because he has a cool technical arm now, But he's so creative that he turned his own treehouse into a battle fort. And his pet monster Rover is fast enough as a jeep and is strong enough to penetrate armored skin also. But like I said, Rover won't be included in this battle. But let's talk about his weaponry. The first weaponry is the boomerang, which is not an ordinary boomerang. It is a boomerang that literally explodes an enemy's face. But taking the explosion that actually is occurred inside this boomerang, this would be equivalent to over 2 tons of TNT. More than enough to break through melted skin. More than enough to burn a human skin, and almost more than enough to melt human bones, which would melt your eyes. That's good to know, and melts your brains and heart. And you know what? Never mind. Let's just move on. His next weapon is the glue thrower, glue slower, which literally which literally powers up in CO2 tanks. And it was made as a t-shirt cannon at his middle school, but literally screw it, he just made it into a freaking glue gun, which sticks into his enemies on the ground walls like Spider-Man, which makes him temporarily glueable. I don't know how I got that word, but it's just really fun to use. Literally. There's no stopping Jack Sullivan from this. And speaking of stopping, he is tough, but he does have some weaknesses. His main weakness is his dramaticness. Jack is really dramatic at some point, and plus his dramaticism does actually leave him on point and leave him as a finishing blow for any opponent to occur. And plus, if he's not careful, he is really predictable in battle, and plus, putting your life above others could be a fatal mistake. And plus, he almost died against a monster named Thrill literally. But no matter what, Jack Sullivan will still remain the zombie hunter, monster slayer, a kid with enough time to play all the video games he wants because of no school, and the post-apocalyptic action hero, tough guy survivor we all know. Just so to be clear, we were using 14-year-old Ellie, so we'll not be counting The Last of Us 2. But anyways, what we do know about the original The Last of Us and the original Ellie, she was she was just a normal little girl until her best friend Riley got infected and died right in front of her. And so she's no longer an innocent little girl after what happened to her best friend. So needless to say, she met up with Marlene, the leader of the Fireflies, and surprisingly ditched her and met up with Joel Miller. That's his last name. Well, Ellie's last name is Williams, but that doesn't matter now because they actually formed an awesome team. But somehow they lost a few people like Taz. They lost Riley. They lost who else was it? Sam, and what was that guy's name? Oh, it's been a while since I played The Last of Us. Henry. Yeah, his name was Henry. But anyways, after that, her long journey has been for assistance. She grew up to be an expert zombie killer. But after a full year, she's been handling so many weapons, like her trusty knife, which can cut through almost anything, like skin and flesh and bones. She also carries a 9mm pistol, which is actually strong enough to pierce through bones and pierce through your skull, through your brain, through your skull out. She also carries her trusty hunting rifle, used for hunting, or even used for killing people or infected people. Speaking of hunting, she uses her trusty bow, which is a stealth weapon that can kill you instantly. So be glad because she's almost the Lara Croft. She's almost the Lara Croft instantly. She can also be the Nathan Drake while using, her stealthy attack abilities. Ellie is a massive expert when it comes to stealth. Literally, she has been stealthier to take down David, and plus even survive the fire atmosphere around her. And plus, she still had the stamina to kill Joseph once and for all. But even though she is tough, she does have some weaknesses. Ellie is quite sassy when you give her attitude, and it is she never focuses anything straight. And, she doesn't think straight during battle. But no matter what, she'll still remain the best zombie hunter we all know. Alright, catch your votes in, people, because it's time to see who will determine their zombie treasure... No, not treasure hunting. Hold on. The zombie hunting legendary mission. Nothing to this song gets old. Hey, you! What's the big idea? Whoa, okay, I didn't mean to stutter you like that. Wait, did I actually hit you? Oh, my mistake. I'm sorry. I promise that it won't happen again. Maybe we'll see about that. Okay, is that really necessary? That doesn't even look necessary enough. Ah! Okay. You wanna dance? Then let's dance. Fight! Ah! Wow! That's fast! Thank you. How about that? Whoops. Oh yeah? Take a pebble to the face! My ultimate weapon attracted! It's a broken baseball bat. Yeah, well, it's good enough for the use. He broke through my hunting rifle! How? Well, it's strong enough to pierce through armored skin! Ah, no. Feat complete. Defeat a powerful opponent. KO. And the winner is Jack Sullivan, and here's why. Now, Ellie may be a professional at stealth, but Jack has literally shown impressive strength, speed, and durability. While, yes, she did defeat a bunch of clickers and stalkers and bloaters, but she only did that with her teammate Joel. Same thing goes to Jack Sullivan. He did the same thing. He did it with Dirk, June, and Quint, and most likely like every other monster ally that they know, and usually insanely Rover, but there's some ways that he did it by himself, and plus he survived 42 days by himself. Literally, he's handled a giant monster named Blarg, which literally contains that he can do much more by himself. And plus, literally defeated Blarg with a little help. And plus, he even estimates that it's approximately like over 30 pounds, like I said, over 50 or 30 pounds. Literally, Ellie was more stealthy, but Jack was stronger, faster, and had way more experiences. Looks like one of the last of us couldn't handle it, but in the end, Jack had no choice but to destroy one of the last kids on Earth. The winner is Jack Sullivan.